Yo, I'm stuck. For real.
My name is Boykins III. I'm a singer-songwriter from Miami, Florida, 25 years old. Right now I currently live in New York City. I've been living there for about 8 years. Graduated from New School University in 2006. Trained and studied under Bilal, familiar with him, soul singer from Philly. I have 2 albums out, Dopamine and The Beauty Created, that released in 2008 under my own label, Nomadic Music. And I'm releasing my 3rd album, Love Apparatus, this year. The process is definitely, I always look at it as a learning experience. You know, like with everything, when you're around people that are creative, you're always taking in their energy, always learning from them, always sponging everything in. So that's pretty much how I've been going about like life. You know, is appreciating everything. Like, oh, is that how you do that? Okay, put it to use. Is that how you do that? Okay, put it to use. So.
There's something about you. Can't quite put my finger on it, but I really like you. So I'm never ever gonna quit. You give me these feelings, got me feeling so motionless. And when I'm around, you know I'm down. Slow motion with that. Girl, you give me the ice, and I get fighting. I taste your flavor, and I get lazy.
And one night I was at a show at this jazz spot, and one of my friends was like, yo, you should ask Bilal to give you voice lessons. I like, I'll give you no voice lessons. I had already met him 2 times before that. He didn't even remember who I was, you know? He's like, yeah, I remember you, Jacob, right? No, Jess, yeah. Like, that was like the relationship we had. And I remember I finally asked him, and he was like, yeah, I'll teach you voice lessons. I'm off right now. I'm not on tour or nothing. I was like, all right, cool. And that's pretty much how it started. Starting from studying under Bilal, like, my first lesson with him was just a breathing exercise for an hour. And I remember he would say, when you inhale, you're inhaling the room. When you exhale, you're becoming the room. When you inhale, you're inhaling the world. When you exhale, you're becoming God. And I'm like 17 years old. And, all right, this cat's crazy. But you know, later on in life, I'll learn what that meant. You know, and even with putting out, you know, with being around people who are creative all the time and just love to share their art, they just teach you how to release things. You know, you learn how to market yourself and brand and all that. Like just being around a certain group of people. And I was lucky to experience all that when I went to New School. I mean, the style of music that I do, I just call it soul. To me, a true artist always goes through growth, always goes through like processes and progression. So it's really hard to say that I'm a certain sound. You know, I just really just say that everything that I do is from my heart. That's what I feel. With the Beauty Creator, that's one of the things. You know, it's from my heart. You know, a lot of times I take inspiration from certain things, and that album was conceptual and inspired by a lot of Spike Lee movies. I'm a really big Spike Lee fan. And I remember during that time I had just moved back to Brooklyn because I was living in Jersey at the time. And I just moved back to Brooklyn and I was unpacking all my stuff. And I would just put Spike Lee movies on it from this old box I had, like all the Spike movies. I'm just watching movies, writing, like, you know, not even really paying it any attention, but it was really like channeling through me, like the vision that I was seeing from the movies. And that inspired me to do a conceptual album called Beauty Created.
I would like to hold your hand, take you to the floor for this last dance. I would like to move to the rhythms you groove to, yeah. It doesn't really matter who sees. Close your eyes, just picture you and me. Forget the haters, they can hate us, I don't care what's up.
The cat who did the artwork is probably one of my best friends and one of my team members. His name is Jared Wu, and he actually directed all my videos as well, and he designed my logo. And I remember he designed my logo before I even had a song recorded. On sophomore year in college, I think I was 18, and I had a jacket with a treble clef on my back, and he was like, don't move. He just drew this treble clef with my initials in it, and I was like, whoa, I should probably record a song now, you know? So he's always believed in me. So, and he was my roommate at the time as well when we moved into the apartment. So it was all there from the start, you know, from start to finish, like the connection, you know. I'm in it. I'm in it to be timeless, you know, whether it be commercial or not. You know, I could be famous underground and be listened to for the next 50 years, and that'll be fine with me. You know, you never really can tell with the industry. You never really know what commercial success is. You know, like, of course, there's, you know, the mainstream, the ringtones, and you get all that money. But then, you know, can those kind of artists go on tour for 6 months and have the stage presence to hold 10,000 people? But Erykah Badu can do that, you know? So she'll be around forever. Those are moments that'll be remembered forever, not a ringtone that lasts for the trend and it's like, okay, it's over now. You know, I want to be an artist that gets on a stage and performs at a festival, and then people tell their grandkids about me 30 years later. Like, man, I went to this show, Jesse Boykins III. I remember we was at this festival in the desert for 3 days, and he just sang in the touch. You know, I want that. Like, I listen to all spans of music. You know, I listen to the music from West Africa. I listen to music from India, from China. If I, you know, like anything I could get in contact with. But as of late, I've really been listening to a lot of Corinne Bailey Rae. She's probably one of my favorite writers. Like, her songwriting, it's so simple, but like the visuals and the message is so impactful at the same time, you know. But it's still like, wow, to me at least. So she's probably one of my favorite UK artists right now. Yeah. I always talk about Jamaica. I always represent where I'm from. Like, and everybody always asks me. Like, my uncles call me like, "What road boy? You should when you're going to do a Bob Marley cover?" I'm like, I'm soon. You know, like I don't know. Like, it's gonna get there. I'm gonna get there eventually. But I definitely appreciate like the music, culture, and heritage of Jamaica. Like, it has a lot to do with my songwriting and the way I listen. You know. I'm in it for the music, you know. I don't know. That's a really sensitive subject. Like, it's really hard to talk about stuff like that to me because I really don't pay attention to it until it's brought up. You know, I acknowledge it and I appreciate it. You know, definitely. And you know, most of the songs I write about are about women, and they will continue to be about women because that's what I connect with. That's how I live. This is the part of the interview where I get all nervous and stuff and go, I'm available and all that, right? It's my zodiac sign?
Yeah.
I'm a Pisces.
Pisces. Oh, that explains why you're so lovey-dovey. You know, there's
exactly.
rumors and
yes.
all.
So that's my answer. I'm a Pisces. What's going on, world? This is Jesse Boykins III, and you're checking out CodeEmphasis.com.